Rising ground, folks. Guys, I just got to my next stop. This is just a heat maintenance. This customer has a Carrier gas furnace. I believe we came out here. Make sure this door is locked. Guys, I think we came out here, what was it, last summer to do a blower motor. And everything was rocking and rolling with the AC after we put the motor in. But guys, I'm just out here for the tune-up to make sure the furnace is ready to go for the winter. I'll see y'all when I get inside. Peace. All right, guys. I just turned the thermostat on. And this will be our furnace. And like I said, we put a motor in this past spring. The furnace is original. The AC is newer. Certainly under 10 years old. I think this AC is about like, what, maybe 6 or 7 years old. It's already 4 tonight. But let's take the doors off and let's get to it, shall we? All right, guys, we got the doors off. And like I said, this motor is new. And the only other thing I know that we did here years prior is put a new igniter in. And guys, the only bad thing about the system is that, of course, it has a few gray hairs. This thing is at least 20 years old. This is a American standard, 80,000 BTU upflow. And I know this thing is at least 20 years old, but the good thing is this customer went with us with the maintenance before breakdowns, and she stayed on top of getting the smaller things squared away before it snowballed into a bigger issue. So, guys, like I said, this doesn't happen often. I want to say every customer with a 20-plus-year-old system, out of 5 people with systems this age, at least 2 of them probably won't know about maintenance until things starts to break down. But knock on wood or knock on concrete, this customer got the maintenance done ahead of time, so this furnace is definitely in better condition than most pieces of equipment are around this age. But guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this flame sensor. And also I'm going to take a look at that igniter. And also, this is expected. There's a little bit of dust around the top of the burner. So I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to clean all this off. And also I'm going to take a look at that inducer port. And the port is actually behind the plate there. I'm going to take a look at that. And I actually had a customer ask me this yesterday. He was asking me about the vent pipe. He was like, he recently got, I think this is off the water heater. He got the vent pipe replaced, and he said another company replaced the vent pipe, and he's seen like a bunch of rust inside the vent pipe. And he was asking me, is it normal for like corrosion and flakes to be in the vent pipe? Guys, to be honest with you, regardless of how old the unit is or how much wear and tear accumulates, guys, you got to understand, an 80% furnace, the stack temperature is going to be at least 300 to 400 degrees. What that means is, guys, whenever this heat runs, this vent pipe gets extremely, extremely hot. And guys, once the carbon monoxide, of course, flows through the vent, the inner lining of that vent pipe is going to take a beating. So, guys, you times that temperature by how many times this unit runs throughout the course of a year, times 20 years. It's normal for vent pipe to accumulate rust and build up inside. But guys, here's the thing. Most of this stuff gets blown out wherever it goes. And sometimes you have a drip leg on the vent pipe, how you see here. And you can just remove that bottom part there and you can get rid of all the scale and all the rust inside the vent pipe. All that stuff builds up usually on the trap. But for the most part, guys, sometimes what can happen is the scale and the rust builds up inside the vent pipe and it stacks up and it could clog up your inducer port. And once again, guys, you hear me say this a lot. I'm only telling you this because this did result in a recall once, and I know not to do this again. But guys, not checking these ports, especially on 80%ers, even if the unit is running, this could lead to intermittent issues with the pressure switch. Because remember, guys, this pressure switch relies on this inducer motor running and basically pulling the furnace into a negative pressure. That's what makes this thing close. So, guys, if you have anything in the flue piping or anything that's intruding, like I said, the flow of this inducer motor, pushing all that debris and pushing all that carbon monoxide out, then sometimes it could lead to intermittent issues with pressure switches. So guys, I'm telling you this because I didn't know this until I had a recall where, like I said, I did a maintenance, and then right when I left, the customer said the unit stopped working. And as soon as I got there, the unit turned right back on. And lesson learned, now before we have intermittent issues, I know to check that preventatively, stick a piece of thermostat wire through there and make sure that that wire touches the other end of the tube, which is technically the front of our heat exchanger, the outlet portion of it. All right, guys, let me get this thing cleaned up. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, I cleaned my port. I cleaned the sensor. Igniter is still within range, and also that's a brand new capacitor that we replaced when we did the motor. And right now, I'm just cleaning the top of the burner box. And yeah, guys, I'll tell you one thing I used to not resent, but one thing I didn't see the value of back when I first started doing service was I used to hate doing maintenances. And guys, once again, like I said, my mentality at that time was just, I'm trying to get to service, and I'm trying to get to fixing things. I hate seeing equipment work, and when something breaks, I can't come back to fix it. But guys, as a business owner, I'll tell you now, especially for you guys to have your own companies, maintenances, for the most part, it's almost better than service calls if you look at it. Because guys, maintenances allows you more time to look more thoroughly into the scenario. And like I said, guys, with service, the only thing that matters for the most part is you fixing the immediate issue. But maintenances allow you more time to look at the system, and also you can build a better rapport with the customer. So, and like I said, guys, I mean, you plant seeds and then you almost forget how many seeds you plant. But guys, you plant enough seeds, like I said, with maintenances, I mean, that's the blueprint and how I started the company. And like I said, guys, I don't really think twice about maintenances. It's just part of the job. But like I said, guys, everything comes around full circle. So definitely blessed that I stuck with this long enough. And like I said, guys, it's not really much to it, man. I don't think twice about it. It's just all part of the job. You got to take the bad with the good. And like I said, guys, all I do is plant seeds. That's the mentality. But guys, what I'm going to do is I got to remount this pressure switch. And guys, this gas valve reminds me of a boiler from like 3 or 4 years ago. The knob from this customer had a boiler, and the knob from the boiler, which looks very similar to this one, it actually broke off. I don't know if the customer was dealing with it or what, but I just recommended replacing the valve, the whole gas valve. And the guy said he went on Amazon and he found, I don't know, Amazon, or he went online somewhere. He found the exact knob that he needed for the gas valve. And this, of course, is over in Philly, so ingenuity is definitely an A+ out there. But guys, I don't know, that was just weird. He actually found a knob on a gas valve. What's the chances of that, right? All right, let me put this back together, and I gotta check the amps on the inducer. The filter is already clean, but let me put this back together. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, my blower motor just turned on. This is a 1.5 amp inducer and a 0.91 on a 20-year-old inducer out of a 1.5. I'll take those numbers any day. But there you have it. Heat maintenance, this bad boy is rocking and rolling. Yes, this unit is 20 years old, but I'll take a clean 20-year-old unit over a brand new 5-year-old variable stage furnace that hasn't been maintained in 2 years. I'll take that any day, guys. But I'm gonna rock out. I gotta put the doors back on, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.